Hi, this is Angela from
SpinachDagger.com.
Okay, Gabriella, today, what are we going to be making?
Pie crust.
Pie crust. Okay, first thing we're going to do is take our butter, and that's going to be 12 tablespoons, and we're going to cut it into cubes. And what I like to do is slice it, cut it into cubes like this, put it on a paper plate, and put it into the freezer. Now, while I'm doing the cutting of the butter, Gabriella, you're going to measure out 2 cups of all-purpose flour into this bowl. Use a small scoop and scoop. We don't want to go in like this. That is going to compact our flour, and it's going to be more than we really want. We'll have a dry pie crust. So go ahead and scoop 1, and I'll continue doing the butter. Put the next one. So far we've got 2 cups of all-purpose flour and 12 tablespoons of unsalted butter, because we're going to add our own salt into the pie crust. These are going to go into the freezer, and you can have butter in the freezer overnight. You can freeze it for 30 minutes. I like it to be super cold, because as this butter melts with the flour in the oven, you're going to have your flaky pie crust. Perfect. And it helps to start with cold flour, so we're going to freeze that too. And keep it over your flour, so if it falls, look at that, a little more. If it falls, it's going to fall right back into the flour. Actually, that looks like a pretty good cup to me. We're going to go ahead and put that in, and we're going to put these into the freezer, and we'll be back. We're going to take 2 cups of flour. This flour was in the freezer because we're going to keep everything really, really cold. Putting it in there. Gabriella, you want to add a tablespoon of sugar and add a teaspoon of salt. Great. Now we're going to put it in the food processor. Okay, now we're going to give it a whirl. We're going to put the butter in. This is 12 tablespoons of butter cut into cubes and frozen. I'll go ahead and get that in. And I'm going to set it to a number 2. This goes all the way to 4, so about midway I'm going to do my food processor. I'm going to count to a loose 10. You want to go ahead and turn it. Turn it to 2. I think that's good. I got what I want. It's about those little pea sizes that everybody talks about, because we want to keep our butter frozen, cold, and whole, and separated all in these little pieces. One of the mistakes people make when they make pie crust is they overwork the butter. Now I'm going to take the ice out, and we're going to put our ice water in. You want to put it to 1. We're going to stream this in. You want to hit 1? Okay. I think that's probably about perfect. We've got about a half a cup of ice cold water. And now we're going to put it in this plastic bag, because I really don't want my hands to touch this. And I can tell that it's good because it's sticking together, although you might not think that it is. First thing I'm going to do is take this out. It's pretty sharp, so Gabriella, don't touch that, okay?
Okay.
And we're going to put it into this plastic bag. Fold it over. Look at that. I can see all these little whiter dots going all the way through the dough. I don't know if you can see it or not, but trust me, they're there, and that means that the butter is not smeared on the flour. It's dispersed in little pieces all over. And I'm not going to use my hands. I've used this, so I don't want to put any warmth to it. And look, we have what I can tell you is a perfect flaky pie dough. Now what I like to do is put it back into the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. I don't know why, but that seems to make it better, but you can even do it overnight. And I can also freeze this. So if I want to do a lot of baking season's coming up, I can do a lot of pie dough, have it in the freezer, take it out and defrost it. So that's another thing that I like to do. After you take it out of the refrigerator, you might let it set for, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes. You'll know if it doesn't roll nicely. If it's really, really cold, you might need to let it set for about 15 minutes. Let me give myself plenty of room. I'm gonna cut out some hand pies. The recipe will make a 2-crusted pie crust easily. And what you'll do is you'll divide it up in not quite in half, because the bottom is going to need a little more and the top a little less. I'm using a big marble slab, but you can use a roll pat. I suggest if you don't have marble, which keeps your dough nice and cold, then I suggest you use the roll pat. Now look at this. That is nice, that is perfect, nothing's falling apart. This is going to be flaky. Now you're ready. You are ready to do whatever you want to do with this beautiful pie crust. Thank you for visiting the Spinach Tiger Kitchen. You can get more recipes and 17 tips on how to make a pie crust at spinachtiger.com. Feel free to please subscribe to my cooking channel, Cooking Fierce Food, A Woman Would Love and A Man Will Marry Her For.